Hey guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back to my channel. This is Books and Tea and All Things Me, and I am so glad that you are here today. Today I am doing a review on a book that I got through Netgalley. And for those of you who might not know what Netgalley is, it's a website where you can get ebooks. Most of them are advanced reader copies, some of them are already published, but it's basically just a way for the book to get out there, to get some reviews. And so I signed up for an account on Netgalley and I was given the opportunity to receive the book Sugar Skulls, and this book is by Lisa Mantchev and Glenn Dallas. So I think the publishing date for this book is November 10th, which is very close now, and I just read it this past week on my Kindle through Netgalley. So thank you to Netgalley, thank you to whoever approved me to receive this book, because this book was so good. Like, I was not expecting to like this book as much as I did. When I first started it, I was turned off by a couple of things, and I'll tell you about those things in a minute. But the more I got into this story, the more engrossed I was in it, the more connected I felt to the characters, the more I was just rooting for them the whole time and for the relationship, and it was just wonderful. Like, 5 out of 5 stars, one of the best books I've read this year, and I'm still just so surprised by how much I liked it. So I'll tell you a little bit about this book. This is a dual perspective book, and it's told from the perspective of V. And V is a young woman who sings in a band called Sugar Skulls, which is where the title of the book comes from, and why I drew this pretty ugly, not very well done sugar skull for you today. But V sings in this band called Sugar Skulls, and then it's also told from the perspective of Micah, who is a young man who sort of lives off the grid. So V and Micah live in this town or city called Cyrene, and basically it seems to be set in the United States, but it's like this separate society with a wall, a giant wall that surrounds it, and it basically operates on thrum, which is energy created by people who go out and party and dance and do drugs and have sex and drink. And so it's just this really morally promiscuous society that they live in, and everything that they do in this society creates this thrum, and basically it provides the energy to power the city and, I believe, the United States. And so that right there kind of sets the tone for what kind of world this is that we're in. It's a very promiscuous, very party atmosphere, and so V is part of this band that goes to different venues and different clubs, and they sing to create more thrum. Micah, in his past, which it's only a few months prior to when this story takes place, he and several of his friends overdosed on this drug called Applejack, and his friends all died and he was left to live, but he lives off the grid. Everybody has this technology in them, and I'm pretty sure he just like fried his when he overdosed on the drug. And so he's sort of like this outlaw, lives on the edge of the city, does some sketchy stuff, but he is working basically to try to track down the dealer that gave them this Applejack drug and killed all of his friends. So that's sort of like the backstory of everything. V, the singer, her producer or manager of their band, he is sort of like the bad guy in this story, and he's very controlling, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. But basically the story revolves around this incident in time where V is performing at a club, and Micah is there in the club, and he hears V sing, and for the first time in forever since he fried his nanotech, he's actually able to feel the energy inside him that she produces when she sings. And so he has this instant curiosity and connection to her, because it's the first time he's felt anything since that moment in time when he overdosed and almost died. And so V sees that he's not like everyone else, because he's not like raving like the rest of the crowd, but he's staring at her so intently and watching her just so like silently and unmoving, and she's just curious about him as well. And so they forge this instant connection, and basically they run away together. I'm not gonna say how it happens, but they run away together, and it follows their journey as they're trying to escape different people. I am not doing a very good job of describing this, but it's very, very action-packed story. There's obviously romance between V and Micah, and I was like loving their romance, even though it was sort of an insta-love thing. It made sense to me because of that connection, I guess, and it just worked, I think. Maybe some people won't like it because of that aspect of things, because they just, like I say, they like instantly make this connection and they instantly fall in love, and it all moves very quickly, but it just worked for me, and I was rooting for them so much. They're like the cutest couple. I loved them together. And the story of them on the run and getting chased and stuff by all these people is just very, very action-packed. There's a lot of unexpected twists and turns. There's a look into both of their past histories that I really enjoyed, and it just sort of helped you understand why they are who they are. Just did a really, really good job of making it a very well-rounded story, I thought. So this book did have a couple of my bookish pet peeves in it, and I wrote that in my review on Goodreads, and it was really funny because one of the things is that it just swears a lot. There's a lot of cussing and swearing, and it makes sense because of the society that they're in. So I understood it, but I did feel like some of it was just a little bit too much. I mean, there's a lot in this book, and so I want to put that out there so you guys know that that is a part of this story. It's pretty vulgar language, and obviously, like I said before, there's a lot of sex, drugs, alcohol, that type of thing. So I wrote my review, and the author, Lisa Manchev, she retweeted my review and said, sorry about all the swears. It was kind of funny to me, but anyways, that was one thing that did sort of bother me a little bit. I don't mind language in my books, but this just was a lot. And I get it. I understand why it was in there. It works with their society, and I just imagine that the people that live there probably did have potty mouths, and it just made sense. Also, the sex, like I said, I felt like it also worked for this book. Like, I don't think I'm really giving anything away in saying that V and Micah have sex pretty quickly, but it's just their society, so I get it. And it didn't really bother me. I thought the sex scenes were written very well. Not too graphic, but graphic enough that you knew what was going on. I did feel like the sex in their relationship strengthened their relationship as well, which I don't often think that when I'm reading, especially YA books, but it just worked. The one thing that did bother me really bad though, and I think I've said this in another review before, but I hate it when characters refer to one another as love, like it's their pet name and they tag it on the end of anything. V calls Micah love all the time, like, hello love, or you know, just, I don't like love. I don't know why, it just bothers me, and she used it a lot, and so that did bug me a little bit, but that's just me. Probably doesn't bother the rest of you, I'm just weird. So overall, I thought this book was fantastic. I thought the plot was wonderful, the storyline, it just all made sense, it all went together, and it just had me on the edge of my seat wanting to know what happened next, rooting for Micah and V. I thought they were great. Also, V's bandmates, Sasha and Jax, they're really good characters too, and I really enjoyed when there were scenes with V and her bandmates together. Just everybody in this book is lovable. You'll just be so engrossed in the story. And so like I said before, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. It is wonderful, and I think everybody should read it. It's one of the best books that I read this year, and I still can't believe that I'm saying that, but so good, guys. You have to read it. So that concludes my review of Sugar Skulls, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you'll go out and pick it up on the publishing date, November 10, like I said, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye!